Oh, yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers pulling off the uncanny, unlikely, impressive win down 15-6. They rattle off 31 straight points. Beanie Bishop Jr.
Boom.
West Virginia, great, with a couple of interceptions. One had a little bit of look what I found to it, but that's fine. You take them where you can get. Had a
Definitely.
big tackle near the end of the first half. My son texted me early in the game,
Yeah.
hey, Beanie Bishop is starting.
Right.
I said, who's Beanie Bishop? Played at West Virginia. I haven't been paying-
I
I
thought
just
you were,
haven't
this
been
you
paying attention
self-proclaimed
anymore.
West Virginia fan over
I
here.
don't care anymore.
Okay.
I remember a time, as I tweeted on Saturday night when Kansas State was pummeling the Mountaineers. I vaguely remember a time when West Virginia was a borderline powerhouse in college football.
Right.
It might have been a dream.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a dream. I remember. I was young. I remember. But, it went fast. I'll say that. It was here and it was gone when you were considered a powerhouse. That's for sure.
It was during the Rich Rodriguez days.
Yeah, right.
After Miami and Syracuse and Boston College got out of the Big East, it was
Right.
easier to win it every year. All you had to worry about was Cincinnati and Rutgers and Connecticut. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Those days are gone.
I mean, is the story more like Steelers, that was great last night, or is it more like, man, the Jets, Mets, totally getting destroyed here in the New York area?
Can we enjoy both?
Bad weekend.
I think we can enjoy both.
I can
can't
a
we?
little bit as a Yankee fan. I can enjoy it. At least one side of that.
You were
though.
afraid of the Mets.
I was a little afraid of that, because it's a no-win situation. If we win, they're like, oh, you're supposed to beat us anyways, and if we lose, it's like a lifetime of them having bragging rights over me. So that started to worry me. But either way, they won't have any bragging rights with the Jets and what they did, because that was a disaster. I feel like we have to start with the Jets, really.
Well, and look, are we surprised that the more Woody Johnson is involved with the Jets,
Okay.
the more of a shit show the Jets are?
Right.
Why are we surprised by that? I mean, at a certain point, and I wanted to,
Yeah.
I had an inclination to, but I didn't. I didn't do it. I could have. I could have made the Steelers a best bet last week. It's like, why is the line moving? Why are the Jets favored? What am I missing here? Why do people think the Jets are going to win this game?
Yeah.
Matthew Berry last night, I promised the Jets will win, and that's okay. That's okay. But I'm thinking, what am I missing here? These are the Steelers. This is a Steelers game. It had Steelers written all over
It had Jets written all over
It had
too.
Steelers written all over
But the Jets do have more dysfunction right now.
Exactly.
That's for sure. I mean, listen, I can't argue that. And it's,
Mike Tomlin and Jeff Ulbrich, what are we talking about? I mean, at the ultimately end of the day,
I get you.
it's Mike Tomlin and Jeff Ulbrich, who's in his second game as a coach, who got thrown into
Right.
the spot because Robert Saleh got fired. Why are we thinking that the Jets, why do we think with any degree of confidence the Jets are going to win that game? And I was rattled by it. It's like, what am I missing here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, Mike, I mean, if you get it down to it, it's 15-6, and they got the ball late in the second quarter, and they're going down to put the Steelers
I know.
away.
You said if they score here, it's over.
I mean, it's deep trouble. So, and to really, that was the point where it just totally fell apart. And you look at it, and hey, you want to get on Woody Johnson, or hey, it's the second game without Robert Saleh and this new experiment with Ulbrich, and it looked worse this week than it did the week before against Buffalo, where they probably should have won that football game and let it kind of slip through their fingers. Nonetheless, there they are, 15-6, with the ball in the Godchild's hands. We've given the organization to you, Aaron Rodgers, and we're up 15-6. And you got the ball with, what was it, 2 minutes, a little less than 2 minutes, and you're going to get the ball to start the third quarter. And what happened from that point on? The Jets just absolutely fell apart. The Steelers got hot, and the game went in two different directions, where you felt like Jets are kind of controlling the game. Jets feel like they're kind of on the precipice of maybe blowing. You like that word?
Ooh, wow.
Maybe they're on the precipice of blowing them out, or really controlling the football game altogether. And then there's the golden child at quarterback, who's supposed to be our savior here with the New York Jets and all that. And Garrett Wilson is open down the middle of the field. And if you guys could show that highlight package again, or some of those interceptions from Rodgers, that was the turning point of the football game. And your guy from West Virginia made a nice play. But either way, you saw that Garrett Wilson was open over the middle, and he had to slow down and stop, and that allowed Beanie Bishop to make the play altogether. And, man, it was bad after that. For
But
the
even
Jets.
then,
Yeah.
when it turned in Pittsburgh's favor,
Yeah.
and maybe this is why I ultimately have faith in the Steelers, because they can take a bad situation and will their way, one play at a time, one circumstance that works out to their benefit at a time, into a positive development that puts them in position to win. When the Jets are down, they can't finish the job. They were down 23-15 midway through the fourth
Yeah,
quarter. Or third
right,
quarter. Third
right.
quarter, not fourth quarter, excuse me. Third quarter. And it really didn't feel like they were done until the Greg Zuerlein blocked field goal. That felt like the moment that this is just not their night. But I felt like they still, like, I remember when it got to 23-15, it's like, I'm amazed it's 23-15, but there's still a lot of football to be played.
Sure.
There's a quarter and a half to be played. And it's still Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. And they can get back on the horse the way they were early in the game and erase this 8-point deficit.
Well, yeah. I mean, you thought that was a possibility, but it went into a totally different direction. And in the third quarter, where you go, okay, hey, they'll bounce back. Here come the Jets. They're coming out in the third quarter. They kind of blew it in the end of the second half. Oh, they went, 3 and out or 5 and out? Either way, they got nothing on the first drive. They let the Steelers go down and kick a field goal. And then you go, okay, they're down 16-15. Here they come. They're going to answer. Rodgers throws a great ball on the left sideline. It bounces off Garrett Wilson's hands, returned down to the 1-yard line. And it kind of felt like, it felt like the Jets went into shell shock from that point on.
Well, the Xavier Newman injury, I think, rattled everyone.
Yeah, I hear you there. Right.
He's fine. They took him to the local hospital. There was a neck issue. He got blown up by Patrick Queen.
Yeah.
And let me just say something here. I didn't plan to mention this.
Uh-oh.
No, They talk about the most dangerous play in football. There was all this obsession with the most dangerous play being the kick return. You know what the most dangerous play in football is? It's when you turn offensive players into defensive players and defensive players into offensive players. That's the most dangerous play in football because it's fish out of water all over the place. And I'm not suggesting we do anything about it.
Yes, please
but
don't.
On a but I'm saying if we're worried about the most dangerous play in football, when you have an offensive lineman chugging over to try to make a tackle, and a linebacker comes and blows him up, you can't be surprised.
No.
And when he gets injured doing something that never happens, you can't be surprised.
No.
That's when quarterbacks get injured.
Right. It's chaos on those types of situations.
It's when, who tore the ACL? Why am I blanking? Oh, it was the Rashee Rice ACL tear.
Right. Interception. You're right.
We saw Odell Beckham Jr. 4 years ago tear an ACL.
You're right.
We saw Terrell Davis in his heyday tear an ACL.
Right.
Pursuing a turnover. I'm just saying, if we're going to worry about and get so twisted up about what the most dangerous play in football is and systematically legislate it out of the game to the point where we completely transform it, we have to at least consider the reality that it is chaos, not controlled chaos, flat out freaking chaos when there's a turnover.
No, it feels like that. I can tell you that from experience. When there's a turnover, you throw an interception, you're right. I mean, it's defensive players hunting offensive players, for lack of a better phrase there, and offensive guys figuring like half the team's going, wait, where's the ball? Who intercepted it? They hear the crowd. Think about old linemen. They're blocking, and all of a sudden they just hear something. So they're totally discombobulated, and it leads to some big collisions. That one there, hey, it's a big old lineman. I don't know. He saw Patrick Queen coming at him, and Patrick Queen just lowered their boom and caught him in the wrong spot there. But that was a big moment. But I know, hey, let's go back.
But I feel like that was the thing that part of the energy out of the Jets.
The deflating, yes, but never answered back. And again, I think that's still disappointing. And there's no excuse for any of that. This is a team that's talking about the Super Bowl. The owner's talking about it's the most talented team we've had in the history of football.
The owner needs to GTFO.
Well, whatever it is, there's issues there. And what I saw on the football field, owner extends to the rest of the football team, the players, the coaches, all of that. You kept waiting for a wait. The Jets they'll cover up and protect some of these body blows, and they'll fight back. And then they go down and, okay, they put a drive together, and you think they're going to kick the field goal and get a little momentum going. Blocked field goal. But this was the start of it, Mike, right here. Minute 20, 15-6. He's open. He's late to throw him the football down the middle, and then he's a little bit behind him. And this was the start of the avalanche of the Steelers and Florio's pasta meatballs crap.
We just saw a week ago.
Here you go. Look at this.
We saw a week ago. Rodgers makes the throw to Alan Lazard in a similar spot like that, and he slipped it in.
Right.
It was a back hip throw, as Devin McCourty called it on Tuesday's show last week.
Interception.
And I almost feel like Rodgers has a hubris to him that he can get away with that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a hubris throw from him. This is that's Garrett Wilson's fault.
Definitely.
But the one before, I felt like Rodgers flew a little too close to the sun on wings of pastrami.
I hear that too. And, it's one of those where, hey, if you're going to throw that throw, like, you got to be, convinced you like it, and you got to let it go. And you got to throw a laser down the middle of the football field. He kind of looked like, oh, he's open, but do I want to throw it? And then didn't even throw his full fastball there. And that allowed Beanie Bishop to kind of make the move and get the hand on it in either way. But I'm one that has been sitting here going, wait, the Jets are still too talented across the board, right? I'm not going to count them out, even though I didn't agree with the Saleh firing and how that went down, and I didn't think it was right for the team there. I still thought, man, this team's still damn good, that they'll be able to weather the storm here and still have a say in the AFC. After last night, that totally makes me rethink things. One thing, losing the way they did last night and looking like they packed up the bags and the defense was like, that's enough. You've hit us too hard tonight. We've had enough. We don't want to play anymore. That, to me, was a bad look.
Think about what's going on, though.
Yeah.
Let's broaden the lens.
Yeah.
It's only been 13 days
No, you're
since
right about
Robert
that.
Saleh was fired. And what do we always look for when a coach might get fired? We look for a long week,
right?
Bye week. That's the this is it, because what you need time
To reconfigure.
for the person who has never been a head coach usually
Right.
to figure out how to be a head coach and how did the job change. And you're removing your best defensive mind from the building in Robert Saleh. You're taking your defensive coordinator and making him the head coach. Everything bumps up. You're losing. You're having a defensive brain drain. And you're doing a lot of stuff on the fly. I'll give you a point. To go back to last week.
Yeah.
The decisive play in Bills Jets, 3rd and short, Josh Allen runs for the first down.
Right.
Devin McCourty said on Tuesday, what do they always do that.
Yeah.
In crunch time like that, Bills
Quarterback design
always
runs.
do
Right.
the design run. And
Right.
it's like, hey, when you've got all this chaos, when you've got all this changing of jobs and what am I doing? There's only so many hours in the day. You can lose a coaching point like that.
Sure. Details could be lost.
And so what other details have been lost as they recover from the Monday night win, and then they got to turn around on a short week? I was asking Josh Allen yesterday about that. We hear about Sunday to Thursday all the time. What about Monday to Sunday? He's like, you just lost today.
Yeah.
It's like you get back to work and you're like, holy crap, we've lost today.
Right.
And you throw that on top of a guy who's in his second game as an interim head coach, having to go into Pittsburgh against Mike Tomlin. Ulbrich got put in a bad spot by Woody Johnson. I don't know. I'd love to know, and maybe there's a book to be written by someone someday about what in the hell Woody Johnson got in his head to fire Robert Saleh when he did. Because the timing, regardless of whether it was too early or too late, it was a horrible time to do it. You're stepping into 2 straight primetime games. You got 6 days to get ready for the first one, and then after that, 6 days to get ready for the next one. So everybody sees how dysfunctional you are. That makes it even more of a mistake.
Well, I hear that. I mean, listen, I know some people involved in this situation, and the more and more I've heard about it and everything there, it seems like it was an emotional decision by Woody Johnson. It seems like really a decision that maybe he wanted to make in the offseason, and he let people talk him out of it a little bit, and he was just fed up beyond belief, I guess, after that London football game, and he made the decision to
How
do
dare
it,
my
but
team embarrass me in front of all of my England muckety mucks that I gave jars of the Queen's honey to.
Well, he tried to make a decision thinking it was right for the New York Jets. It might be the thing that absolutely blows them up and makes them a disaster. I don't know. But right now I'd go, if you made me bet, I'd go, it's going more towards Disasterville. The defense, which I thought was one of the better ones in football, that was embarrassing late in the football game. Let them go down on a long, slow drive to make it 30-15. But then end of the game, you're going, wait, the Jets are only down 2 scores. The Jets defense gets off the field here. Rodgers goes down and scores. They can do something. Oh, they can't get off the field. Oh, they can't get off the field. Oh, holy shit. The Steelers are going to run out the whole fourth quarter. I mean, basically an 8-minute drive. What was it?
7:27.
7:27. That to me was embarrassing for a defensive football team coached by a defensive head coach and all of that. Man, that did not look good at all.
Well, and we'll focus on the game in a second, but when you consider the reality that Robert Saleh had not lost the locker room.
Yeah.
This wasn't he's lost the team and the owner has such a great sense of where the team is that he knew the perfect time to press the button. He hadn't lost the locker room. The locker room was behind him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how Aaron Rodgers really felt about it. I think Aaron Rodgers is holding his opinion in abeyance so he can blame Woody Johnson for firing Robert Saleh. If it goes sideways, then it won't be Aaron's fault. Hey, what am I supposed to do? My head coach got fired 5 games into the season. But you're going to have guys on that defense who are still loyal to Robert Saleh. And they get in moments like this, and you've got all sorts of factors that come into play when you're asking yourself, how how deep you're going to dig.
Yeah, sure.
You know, whether you're really going to go out there and give effort beyond what you're capable
Right.
of doing to
And
try
that's
to
where
stop
Salah's
this.
value was.
And, yeah, and
you know?
and that mentality is gone, and you're thinking, what are we doing here? And you start thinking, let's just get this season, JETS, just end the season.
That's a good one. That's the first time I've heard that, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
No, I
You've
swear.
never heard just end the season?
I don't think I ever did.
Wow.
I don't know. That's a new one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.